Hello, dear friends. This is an overview of the most important astrological aspects and transits for November 2019. I will say something in general about this month and individually about each zodiac sign shortly. Let's see first lunar activity this month. Full moon will be on the 12th of November in Taurus sign. And new moon will be on the 26th of November in Sagittarius. There are quite many important transits this month, but I will mention here the most important one. So the Sun will be in Scorpio until the 24th, and later will be in Sagittarius. Mercury will be in Scorpio all month, and it will be retrograde until the 21st. Venus will be in Sagittarius until the 27th. And Mars will be in Libra until the 20th. Afterwards will be in Scorpio. So what is going to happen in November? November is one of better months this year for most zodiac signs. It is a bit unreal with a lot of planets in Sagittarius, so it seems it offers a nicer picture of reality than it really is, but that's okay. With that comes a certain optimism and maybe willingness to do something good or to learn something that is precious even. This is Sagittarius sign. So big players, Jupiter and Saturn, are at the same place where they were last month, and they are both direct in their own signs, in the signs they rule. So Jupiter direct in Sagittarius, Saturn direct in Capricorn. So it's a very powerful time with very clear messages that are coming, symbolically of course, from those planets. So this is the last month for them to move in parallel, very strong and very independent, both of those planets. They're not aspecting each other. They're moving in parallel walk, like each separate, and that's why they're so powerful, independent and strong. So at the beginning of December, Jupiter enters the Capricorn sign and remains there until the December 2020. Saturn and Jupiter are both, that's the end of his cycle. Saturn and Jupiter are both social planets, so their messages do not concern that much individuals. Of course, individuals if you have planets in Sagittarius or in Capricorn, but generally speaking, they influence the collective, first of all. And about the difference between those two planets, those two energies, on the archetypal level, I talked shortly at the beginning of my video for September 2019. So if you want to see the difference between those two planets, please see the beginning of this video, September 2019. Jupiter rules in Sagittarius and transits through his sign, and during this fall is in very strong position, the strongest position in the whole year. Especially Jupiter is strong in October and November 2019. Jupiter here strengthens our belief in higher self and reminds us that laws should be respected, and especially universal laws, not laws that human creates. But there are universal laws, and whatever people do to escape them, they're there simply, and we can actually only respect them, nothing else, and cooperate with them. That's what Jupiter says. And Jupiter also helps us to develop the tolerance among people that we really need in today's time. Saturn is its in sign, also in Capricorn, so also in the sign that he rules, and shows what has proven to be sustainable over time and what will collapse, especially in the field of politics and social organization, and on the world level, not only on the state level, on the world level. And again, the old saying comes up, Be realistic and demand the impossible. So let's see what the future will bring. These two planets will meet and make a conjunction at the last degree of Capricorn, and that will happen in the last month of 2020. So to complete they will complete the whole series of great conjunctions that we expect next year in the Capricorn sign. And thus mark the beginning actually of the new world order. So that will be at the end of 2020 when Jupiter and Saturn meet. So what could be the short message of these two planets? Well, we are all responsible for social movements and change, as well as we are responsible for our own lives. So with these transits, it is true now and during the next year, the more we develop our responsibility for the collective, the more we mature as personalities. So this, and especially next year, we mature through our activities, to our responsibilities that we do, that we have in the collective we live in. So that's the message. There are two videos about Jupiter in Sagittarius that I posted last year. If you want to see, this is now still is important, Jupiter in Sagittarius. I also have a video about Capricorn, about Saturn in Capricorn. Check that one if you want. And I posted recently videos about transits that are happening in Capricorn sign. The name of one video is Plutocracy, and the name of the other one is Conjunction of Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. So check those videos. Soon I will also post a video about conjunction of Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn for individuals, for each individual zodiac sign. So as we look at other transits, we also see that the month begins with a struggle that is a little bit dangerous, and that is the square between Mars and Pluto. It is happening exactly on November 5th. So be careful not to expose yourself to unnecessary conflicts. Also be careful of uncontrollable passions if that emerges, especially because month ends also quite dramatically with the opposition of Mars and Uranus. So it may be that some conflicts or tensions that begin at the beginning of the month will escalate towards the end of the month because this energy perhaps was not well understood or was suppressed in a wrong way. So yeah, be careful this month. Further, on November the 8th, we have some fantastic aspects that bring the realization of long-standing dreams. Then Mercury has good aspects this month, especially first 10 days, but it's retrograde. So for all the more important business decisions, traveling, trade, and the like, it is better to wait until Mercury will be direct from November 21st. The 23rd of November is the day, we can say, of Centaur Chiron. It's like his day, it's an important day. I cannot now explain, we don't have time. Why are such constellations? They stress this energy. And it's very interesting that symbolically these days reveals what is the essence of the sign of Sagittarius. And the essence of the sign Sagittarius is to know the laws between the earth and heaven. So it is not the true essence of the Sagittarius sign to be seen in the elite, but to become the elite with its knowledge, with his or her knowledge. This is what Sagittarius really means. So this can be maybe clear to some of those Sagittarius around, or people who have planets in Sagittarius. Pay attention to 23rd of November. Venus makes good aspects from November 24th to 28th, and this is the time to start new relationships, and those relationships can potentially have future perspective. Okay, let's now say something about each zodiac sign. Aries. At the beginning of the month, Aries come to an obstacle or are going into a conflict. But later on during the month, they will become stronger and more determined in their intentions as the position of Mars strengthens and the Sun enters the sign of Sagittarius, with whom they are in a harmonious relationship. So many Aries people recalculate their money and many receive financial support from others or from their partners. Maybe some of them even received some support, financial or any other support from partners during October, and in November it can be also. Or it's a good time if they're asking for grants or any financial support. The best day for Aries is actually on the 12th of November, when one of their roles in life appears. Most probably that all signs have some roles, and they identify with those roles. So Aries is missionary. One of his faces is the face of missionary. And on that 12th of November, maybe that role can appear. They can be more aware of it. And then life will actually remind them that they have big aspirations in life, that they are not satisfied with life if they need to fix something at home. This is not their role in life. Okay, so Taurus. Taurus will deal with relationship issues during November. Others influences them and inspire them to do something similar as those others people do. And these inspirations can be very useful. Actually, they need this because Uranus is in their sign, and they need to change their attitude towards themselves in the next years. So November is good for this. Many wonder what really matters to them in life, and are they subordinated to others or not, and which position they want to keep. The best day for them is November 28th, when Venus, their ruler, trines Uranus, which can be a time for an extraordinary erotic and aesthetic aspirations or experiences. Gemini people. Mercury, their ruler, is retrograde until the 21st. So you see why Gemini people are nervous. We know that they're nervous in a way. So this is because their ruler is either fast, very fast planet, or is blocked. So Mercury never goes slow, or it rarely goes slow with like step by step. So in November, Gemini is more insightful and more mysterious than usual. We said the same thing actually in October. Well, it also applies for November. There is especially 11th of November, when Mercury is in conjunction with the Sun. And it's also even a few days before and after this date. So this very good time around the 11th of November. But the best day of all is actually the 30th of November this month. And Gemini people should make important decisions or arrange meetings or make agreements or do exams if it's possible at the end of the month. Cancer or Crab. Crab people have more energy in November. They're in a better mood than the month before, and especially it is good the first half of the month for them. Very good. It will be so because the moon will grow, and the culmination will be at the full moon that will be in Taurus at the 12th day of November. So this full moon is on their sign. So Crab people will feel that life gives them what they need, that they will have this feeling of maybe well-being in life, that they have support of others, and maybe that they earned a lot and that they even deserve the reward. That will be fantastic if many crabs go through this. Jupiter is also in very good position. Jupiter is their second ruler, so it can be potentially a good time to travel or to study. And Leo people, those who have planets at the first degrees of the Leo sign are under the influence of square from Uranus. So this square is current during the whole fall this year. And at the end of November, the same Leos who have planets on the first degrees of Leos will be under the influence by the square which will Mars create. And many will feel anxious, maybe in family life or even in professional life also, somehow not satisfied, maybe quarreling without needs and things like that. But it is interesting that Leo people who have planets at the end of Leo sign will be during November under the influence of Jupiter, because the Jupiter is trining planets in Leos. And those other Leos will feel that they're successful, that life gives them a lot, that they gain knowledge that they need for the future progress, for example. They will have a sense that it's worth being here, for example, So, yeah, Leos are now separated with different transits a little bit in November. And these transits do not last long. Virgo. They have planets, people who have planets in Virgo, they have planets that always trine planets in Scorpio. And this month, their Sun is in Scorpio and other planets are in Scorpio. So all planets that are in Scorpio will sextile Virgo, and that is always a good time in life. So what will Virgo feel and do? They will have more enthusiasm than usually, maybe feel the joy of life more. And what is very important for Virgo people, they will be professionally successful, potentially, if they are involved in any business or they are teaching, for example, or they go to conferences and things like that, they can present themselves in a perfect way. Libra. Jupiter will complete its journey through their third astrological house. And while Jupiter was there, many Libra people has developed optimism, and they needed this indeed because they had very hard aspects in the last years. So many have realized during this period that it is important to think positively. If they did so, that's excellent. Further on, Jupiter will enter their fourth astrological house. We will talk about that in the next videos, and this will be very good time for them. So, Libras are also changing their intimate life and attitude towards basing life values, let's say it like that. And this is to a great extent emphasized in November because there are planets now on this Taurus Scorpio axis. And those axes is saying about Libra's values. This month is otherwise very good for money and for talent development, especially for those Libras who are involved in art somehow. The most important is the happiest day, and the happiest day for them is the 24th of November when Venus will conjunct with Jupiter. And for many Libras, that will be at the end of the third and beginning of the fourth astrological house. Very good time for emotional life, family life, real estate, everything like that. Excellent time. Scorpio. Scorpio people will have birthdays, so happy birthday, dear Scorpios, to you. So those who have planets in the first degrees of Scorpio feel already that something is permanently changing in them, and that will influence their life in the future. So the advice to them can be stop being conservative and possessive as before, because it's time to be surprised with life. Life will surprise you. Opposite to you, it's Uranus, and it will be there for many years. However, at the end of November, due to the opposition of Uranus and Mars, fights and conflicts are possible, especially if Scorpio people have not learned yet to be less possessive. So be flexible, be curious, but do not challenge others if it's not necessarily. Okay, Sagittarius. Many Sagittarius are also celebrating birthdays. Happy birthday to Sagittarius people also. So this month brings them fresh start. For those who are early born Sagittarius, those Sagittarius will have a conjunction of Jupiter and Sun in their solar horoscope. So they will be under the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter during the whole year, from this birthday to the next birthday. This is what we call solar horoscope. And this is true for those who were born from the 23rd of November, let's say up to the 2nd of December. This is very optimistic start for those Sagittarius, but for others also maybe not that strong. So it looks like that it's a perfect time to live for Sagittarius. I just want to warn that Jupiter gives to those who believe, and there are Sagittarius who do not believe in anything. They're rare, but there are. So you think, what will you do? You know, those transits are supporting you, but you need to believe in something. It has to be God or your vision or whatever. Otherwise, on November 24th, when Venus connects with Jupiter, the Sagittarius will also have the opportunity to gain love or finances if they are interested. Capricorn. All planets that come and go from the Scorpio sign during November make sextile on Capricorn planets. This is what we said also about Virgos. And this is very good support indeed. So the Sun and Mercury have been producing sextile for almost all the entire month, and since the 20th of November, Mars does the same. So these aspects dynamize Capricorns and bring support from friends or from influential people, and possibly motivating Capricorns to overcome the limitations of their own minds, and maybe teaching them also to expand their consciousness, Expand your consciousness, Capricorn, this month. Work on that. That will be perfect. Saturn makes trine to Neptune, which is good for Capricorn people also, because this arouses compassion in Capricorns and strengthens the idea that when they're doing good deeds, then good things come their way. So think of that. Be the best as you can this month. Aquarius. Much like the Leo people, they feel the square that comes from Uranus symbolically if they have planets in the first degrees of Aquarius. So this aspect is challenging, and is challenging them to change their family situation in the coming years even. They will work on that. And is teaching them actually that they need a stable home, even though maybe in the past they thought that the family life or home is not that important for them. So the planets that are in Scorpio, first the Sun and then Mercury and Mars later on, teach them to avoid conflicts and to resolve things in a wise way if they do not want actually to suffer no longer, and if they do not want to expose their loved ones to suffering. So be wise, Aquarius. Be wise. Make wise decisions. Even we can say make stable decisions. Pisces people who have planets in Pisces will have trines from Scorpio sign. So it is potentially harmonious month for Pisces people, ideal for artists, musicians, and for sensitive Pisces who understand their role as mediators between God and humans. This is the best role for Pisces actually. Such Pisces who understand this role, they're usually involved in spirituality, in art, especially in music, in caritative jobs, or are doctors and healers. These are good ways to use this energy. So if they are involved in such things, then Neptune will trine Saturn this month. Neptune is their ruler. So many Pisces can expect help and support from others, especially if they learned by now who are their true friends. And we said in many videos that that's what Pisces are learning this year, learning about, and next year partly. They're learning about people and friends and their community. So that's all basically for November. Feel free to order personal consultations with me based on astrological psychology or spiritual astrology. If you are interested, all contacts and links will be under this video on YouTube. Some of my readings I sent in audio form. Please check which. I don't record everything that I do, just certain types of readings. I also offer Theta healing consultations and consultations based on Feng Shui. I also have on my website, symbolicthinking.net, you will find it there, the course of astrology. This is the basics of tropical astrology level 1. If you're interested in studying online, please check this course. You can work with these lessons when you're on mobile phone or internet, anytime when you are online. It is very easy, designed for beginners or for those who want to who know basics, but they're not sure about the meaning of planets and houses. You will strengthen your knowledge with this basic course. Later on, I will have also courses for higher level. Check my other videos on YouTube. If you do so, thank you very much. If you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Thank you very much for that also. Until next time, wish you to be realistic and demand the impossible.